My name is Varun Dutt, and I'll be continuing today in the Large Applications Practicum course, teaching you the concepts of JUnit further to see how we can use other techniques like code coverage, including some parts of mutation testings. So let's get started. One aspect of software testing is to actually try code coverage. So idea is that when we write test cases, these test cases may cover some parts of the code, but may not fully cover the entire code. So it is important to know what parts of the code were run fully, what run partially. So if there is an if-else statement, maybe the if part of the code was run and the else part of the code was not run. And what part of the code was not run completely. Maybe say in the switch case statement or in certain conditions, some part of the code was not run at all. So code coverage refers to the number of lines of code that is executed by the test case. And a popular tool to check this for Java is EclEmma. And Emma can be installed in Eclipse very quickly by going to the help, package manager, and Eclipse marketplace, and then we can go and install EclEmma by searching and installing it. Similarly, another tool for mutation testing called Eclipse can also be installed through the same process. So these are the steps to install EclEmma from the marketplace, and you have to go basically to help. I can actually guide you here in the Eclipse, which is open for me. Let me cancel this. Yeah, in the Eclipse, which is open here, I have to go into help and I have to go to Eclipse marketplace, and then in this particular window I will search for EclEmma, and you can see EclEmma is already there and it has been installed. For you need to install it right here. And the other thing which is the software which we can use for mutation testing is Eclipse. And I have also Eclipse here, which can be installed, and I can install it right here. So the Eclipse gets installed, and you can see that the Eclipse also had been installed. So basically, the idea here is that in code coverage, when I ran this test case, some parts of the code were covered, whereas some parts of the code were not covered, and the areas where we had the green lines were fully tested. Areas where we had the yellow line were actually partially tested. You will get such kind of prompts to trust in the latest version of Eclipse, and it will ask you for a restart, which you can do. So idea is that you will get these green lines which are fully tested. When I ran the test case, these lines were fully run. These lines were partially run because you can see that if or else will continue execute, and in this case the else condition was run but not the if condition was run, and such kind of thing is there. And in general, I can come here and see that total in my circle.java, 57.6% of the lines were run. So many lines covered out of so many lines, total number of instructions or lines. And in the circle converter.java, 83.8% of the lines were run, which was 201 lines out of 240 lines. So this basically allows you to see how much of the code was covered by the case. In contrast, when we run Eclipse, which is a mutation testing tool, what it does, it actually mutates certain parts of the code by making, say, greater than equal to be less than equal to. And the idea is it will run the code and it will see whether the test case which I am running succeeds when I change such kind of conditionals. So if it is succeeding, it means that there is a problem. In general, a test case should succeed for the code But if I mutate the code, if I make it less than 0, say area less than 0, in that case, the test case should fail. So this is the idea of mutation testing, that while mutating the code, the test case should fail, whereas unmutated code, the test case should succeed. And mutation testing basically allows us to test for set boundary conditions. So let's come back to the lecture where we were looking at how to install EclEmma, and I have already shown you how it runs. So in this case, you can install it and then you can run it from the top window right here, which I have shown you. And it will tell you for different files the percentage of lines which were run. And you can also open some decorators, like for example, you can go to window preferences, journal appearance, and label decorators. And this will allow you and select code coverage. So it will allow you to also see with respect to every file how much is the code coverage. And then you can actually launch this tool by hitting this button and it will run and give you the estimate. So I have already shown you that the clients are in 3 cases, 3 colors: green, yellow, and red. Green means code which is fully tested, fully run. Yellow means partially, and red means that that particular case has not been run at all. So we also get summary statistics like this, which I showed you in the code. In the code I was running on Circle, but this is for another piece of code. And for these 100% lines, all the lines of code were run. Whereas for this particular case, only 77.1% of the lines were run by the test case. So in mutation testing, which I am going to just tell you right now, although we are not going to go into detail of this, the idea is that we mutate the tool like Eclipse will automatically mutate the lines of code, change conditionals like equal to not equal, greater than equal to less than equal, less than, and such kind of changes will happen. And when the mutation is introduced, it will run the test case, and the same test case which was succeeding should now fail. So this is basically another way of testing your code. So with JUnit, with code coverage, and with mutation testing, you can actually be very ready by testing large applications, particularly large projects, which run into several lines of code more efficiently so that you're able to catch bugs early on. These were the references I used to prepare the lecture. I would like to acknowledge the TAs for their kind help in preparing the lecture. And the activity for this particular lecture entails to try out the same test cases which we had created in the last class. Now you need to test them out using code coverage tools like EclEmma, which I was showing you, and also you can try out with Eclipse, that is the mutation tool, and report your findings. Thank you. So please try this out and we will meet in the next lecture.